Imagine waking up next to the woman you've loved for 15 years, only to find her side of the bed cold and empty. No goodbye kiss, no explanation, just one handwritten note that destroyed everything I thought I knew about my marriage. Michael, I'm sorry. Tell the kids I love them. I'll always love you. I stood there in our quiet kitchen, kids still asleep upstairs, and felt the floor drop out from under me. But the real nightmare began when I opened the security camera app. Because at 2:47 a.m., my wife walked downstairs, took out a second phone I had never seen, and deleted messages like she had been living a completely different life right under my roof. My name is Michael. I'm 41 years old. I work as a regional sales manager for a medical supply company in Raleigh, North Carolina. My wife Rebecca and I have been married for 15 years. We have 3 kids. Sophie is 14, Tyler is 11, and little Emma is 8. Our life was the kind of normal that feels boring when you tell other people about it, but it was everything to me. Every weekday morning I woke up at 6:15, made coffee, packed lunches while Rebecca cooked breakfast. The kids would come downstairs sleepy, Sophie complaining about her hair, Tyler asking for extra bacon, Emma still in her pajamas with her stuffed bear. Rebecca would kiss me on the cheek, hand me my travel mug, and say, "Drive safe, honey. Text me when you get to the office." I'd kiss the kids, tell them I loved them, and head out the door feeling like the luckiest guy in the world. Last Thursday was no different, or so I thought. I woke up at 6:15 like always. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Rebecca's side of the bed was made perfectly, like she had never slept there. No coffee smell, no sound of pans in the kitchen. I called her name. No answer. I walked downstairs and found a single sheet of paper on the kitchen island, weighted down by her wedding ring. The note was written in her neat handwriting. "Michael, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. Please don't look for me. Tell the kids I love them. I'll always love you. Rebecca." My hands started shaking so hard the paper rattled. I ran upstairs, checked the closet. Half her clothes were gone. Her suitcase, her laptop, her favorite jewelry box, all missing. The kids were still asleep. I sat on the edge of our bed and stared at the empty space where she should have been. 15 years, 3 kids, countless family dinners, soccer games, Christmas mornings, arguments about money, makeup sex, inside jokes, all gone in one night. I called her phone, straight to voicemail. I texted, no reply. By 7 a.m. I had called her sister, her best friend, even her mother in Florida. No one had heard from her. That's when I remembered the security cameras we installed 2 years ago after a break-in scare in the neighborhood. 4 cameras, front door, backyard, garage, and one inside the living room facing the stairs. I opened the app on my phone with trembling fingers. The footage from last night was still there. I started from 2 a.m. onward. At 2:47 a.m., the living room camera showed Rebecca walking downstairs in the dark, wearing the black hoodie I bought her for her 35th birthday. She was carrying a small duffel bag. She looked calm, not crying, not panicked, just calm. She went to the kitchen, wrote the note, took off her wedding ring, and placed it on top. Then she did something I will never forget. She walked to the hallway closet, the one we never use because it's full of old coats and Christmas decorations, and pulled out a second phone, a cheap Android I had never seen before. She turned it on, typed something, and then deleted the entire conversation history. She put the phone in her bag. At 3:12 a.m., she went to the garage. The camera outside showed her loading the duffel into our second car, the silver Honda we keep for her to drive the kids to activities. She sat in the driver's seat for almost 10 minutes, just staring at the steering wheel. Then she backed out and drove away. I watched it 5 times. I spent the entire day in a fog. I called in sick to work. I told the kids Mommy had to go help Grandma in Florida because she was sick. Sophie looked at me suspiciously but didn't push. Tyler just nodded and asked if we could have pizza for dinner. Emma cried and wanted to call Mommy. I told her the phone was broken. That night, after the kids were in bed, I went back to the camera footage and watched every single night from the past month. That's when I noticed the pattern. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30 a.m., Rebecca would get up quietly, go to the hallway closet, take out the second phone, text for 8 to 10 minutes, then put it back. She did this for at least the last 14 months that the cameras had been recording. I searched the house like a madman. In the hallway closet, behind a box of old photo albums, I found a small locked metal box. I pried it open with a screwdriver. Inside were a second driver's license with her photo, but the name Rachel Thompson, and an address in Asheville, 2 hours away. A stack of letters tied with a rubber band, all addressed to Rachel from someone named Jay. Bank statements for an account I had never seen, over $87,000 in it. Money that had been transferred from our joint account in small amounts over the last 8 years. A birth certificate for a little girl named Lily Thompson, born 9 years ago. Mother, Rachel Thompson. Father, unknown. My wife had another life, a whole other identity, a child I never knew about. I stayed up all night reading the letters. There were 47 of them, written over 12 years. Jay was Jacob, her high school sweetheart who died in Iraq when she was 19. She had been pregnant when he deployed. She never told anyone. When Jacob died, she had a miscarriage from the stress. She met me 6 months later and never mentioned any of it. But the guilt never left her. 8 years ago, she started volunteering at a military support group. There she met a woman named Maria, whose husband had also died in the same unit as Jacob. Maria had a daughter, Lily, who was born with a rare heart condition. The medical bills were destroying Maria. Rebecca started sending money anonymously at first. Then she created the second identity, Rachel Thompson, so she could open a separate account and visit Lily in Asheville without anyone knowing. She became like a second mother to the girl. She went there twice a month, telling me she was visiting her college friend, Sarah. She attended Lily's school plays, paid for her surgeries, helped with homework over video calls from the second phone. She wrote in the letters how every time she came home to me and the kids, she felt like she was living 2 lives. She loved us. She loved me. But she felt she owed this to Jacob's memory, to save the daughter of the man who died beside him. The last letter, dated 3 weeks ago, said, "I can't keep lying to Michael. The guilt is killing me. Lily is getting stronger, but I'm falling apart. If I stay, I'll destroy our family with the truth. If I leave, maybe I can finally be honest with everyone. I don't know what to do anymore." I drove to Asheville the next day. I found the house from the address on the driver's license. Rebecca was there, sitting on the porch with a 9-year-old girl who looked nothing like me but had Rebecca's eyes. When Rebecca saw my car pull up, she didn't run. She just stood up, took the little girl's hand, and waited. We talked for 6 hours. She told me everything, the miscarriage, the guilt that never went away, how helping Lily became the only thing that made her feel she was honoring Jacob's memory. She said she loved me and our 3 kids more than life itself, but the secret had become too heavy. She was planning to leave a longer letter explaining everything and then disappear so we could move on without the shame. Lily came out and hugged her Aunt Becca. The little girl looked at me and said, "Are you the nice man Aunt Becca always talks about?" That broke me. I drove home that night. The kids were with my sister. I sat in our dark living room and cried for the first time since the morning she left. Rebecca came home 2 days later. We are in counseling now. We told the kids the truth in age-appropriate ways. Mommy had a friend who needed help, and she was scared to tell Daddy. Sophie is angry. Tyler is confused. Emma just wants Mommy to stay. I still don't know if I can trust her completely again. But I also know that the woman I married carried a pain for 15 years that I never saw. She sacrificed pieces of herself every single day to be the perfect wife and mother while secretly trying to save a little girl who had no one else. Some nights I still check the cameras out of habit. Some nights I hold her while she cries and "I'm sorry" over and over. I don't know what our future looks like, but I know this. Love isn't always the fairy tale we think it is. Sometimes it's messy, painful, and built on secrets we keep to protect the people we love most. And right now, I'm choosing to stay and see if we can build something new from the broken pieces. Because after 15 years, 3 kids, and 1 impossible secret, I still love the woman who left that note. I just wish she had trusted me enough to let me help carry the weight sooner.